C'est une ambition sportive forte, une ambition de découverte, de culture, de voyage.
De notre point de vue, c'est peut-être une régate, une course. Du point de vue d'autres, ça peut être une aventure, mais c'est également tout ça en même temps.
It's definitely a bucket list item for an offshore sailor to have a race around the world.
It's the first Class 40 race we can do around the world, so let's try it, let's do it.
Intrepid are the navigators who look to defy the planet. A Homeric epic, sailing around the world requires audacity, bravery, and temerity. Even more so when navigating on 40-foot boats. Embarked on a race around the globe, these pioneers sail towards history. 10 months of competition, sharing, discoveries, fabulous landscapes, magical destinations, incredible encounters. From Tangier to Auckland, via Cape Verde and Mauritius. From Tahiti to Lorient, via Ushuaia, Recife and Grenada. A dream course, an astounding human adventure. Brittany as the first starting point. Skippers from all over the world have an appointment in Lorient, the first meeting place because it is a port of excellence. On the menu, introductions, checkup of the boats, last adjustments, and departure of the prologue towards Morocco.
Lorient, c'est vraiment une base parfaite pour la préparation d'un projet de cette envergure, avec tous les professionnels qu'on peut avoir dans un rayon de 500 mètres autour des pontons à Lorient. Donc ça, je crois que c'est unique au monde. Et ça nous permet de partir dans des conditions sereines quant à l'état des bateaux, en tout cas pour les premières étapes.
Tous les bateaux, ils sont prêts. Toutes les équipes, ils sont très, très sympas. C'est un prologue, mais quand même, c'est la première fois qu'on peut voir la compétition au large.
We feel pretty good about the boat, so it's just fine-tuning everything and getting ready for leg one.
Le prologue, ça permet aux équipages de se roder, ça permet à nous de voir à quelle vitesse vont les bateaux pour pouvoir prévoir les routages pour après, pour savoir comment les bateaux se comportent. C'est vraiment un test grandeur nature.
Tangier, ready for an unprecedented departure in the heart of a historic city, at the crossroads of the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. A melting pot of civilizations, a cosmopolitan city before the Lord. Within its heart, an exceptional Medina, which opened itself to the navigators of the GLOBE40. The race took place in the sublime Tanger Marina Bay, a brand new site where the fleet was open to amateurs, the curious and the young generations.
J'ai appris beaucoup de choses ici. Comment on couche. Et il n'y a pas de toilettes, il n'y a pas la cuisine.
With our children, we learn many things. For example, the names of the ships and the numbers of them, and how the skippers live, how they travel, what's the age. It was a very important and interesting things.
Le but, c'est de leur faire un peu découvrir un peu ce monde qu'ils ne connaissent pas forcément ici, à Tanger, et le faire aimer aussi, c'est plus important pour nous.
For a whole week, the pontoons are bustling to the rhythms of Maghrebine music. The event is unprecedented. For the first time ever, a race around the world starts on the African continent.
C'est une première pour notre pays, c'est une première pour notre ville. C'est quand même passionnant, il y a des challenges. Donc pour nous, c'est un événement important. On souhaite réellement à ce que des événements pareils se reproduisent à l'avenir.
I've been to many places in the world. I've never been to Tangier. It's beautiful. The people have been great. The architecture is beautiful. The weather's perfect. I'm surprised there isn't more sailing here. So hopefully this is the start of something great to come.
The enthusiasm is palpable, yet measured at the same time. Everybody, from skippers to organisers, is leaving on a carefully prepared trip, but also on a journey into the unknown.
Ça va être le grand départ, donc les points vont compter à partir de maintenant. Et puis après, c'est aussi, on part vers des destinations que les concurrents, et nous-mêmes y compris, connaissons moins. À partir du moment où on approche du Cap-Vert, le tour du monde commence. La partie aventure revient se joindre à l'aspect sportif.
I was waiting 2 years for this depart. So now we can start GLOBE40 from Tanger. So I'm so excited now.
There's always that little thrill moment, excitement, nervousness just before you leave the dock. And as soon as we get sailing, I am so happy.
I'm feeling a little bit tense. It's the first race in the GLOBE40, so that's always a little tense because you don't know exactly where you're laying in the fleet. If everything you've done to the boat goes well.
I feel great. I feel like we're prepared, ready to go. Wind looks good. Looks like we're gonna have a good time.
Madeira, the Canaries, and finally Cape Verde. A short stage, completed in 7 days for Milai around the world. The Japanese crew easily won the first leg of the round-the-world battle.
Fortunately, we could win prologue and first leg, and I'm feeling very good about our boat preparing and our practice last 2 years. And now it's very feeling good, so I want to try to keep going, like to get a good result for the next second leg also.
One day after the Japanese boat, 4 Class 40s arrived tightly bunched in the port of Mindelo.
4 boats arrived within 4 hours after 2,000 miles, which I think is quite exciting. It was nerve-wracking until the very end.
Mindelo, c'est un grand port de transit. C'est un de ces lieux un peu magiques qu'on trouve dans le monde, qui ont été pendant très longtemps un port d'escale vers l'Amérique du Sud.
All people is very kind for me, and the people is very good, and the food is very good, and the landscape, seascape is very beautiful.
The GLOBE40 help us to put Cape Verde on the map, and maybe we can bring more skippers to Cape Verde, more sailors to Cape Verde. And I think GLOBE40 is a very important moment to Cape Verde to promote more themselves.
This first stop was very much appreciated by the skippers. The human warmth of Cape Verde, the discovery of the lush forests of the archipelago, and the preparations for a second fearsome stage, heading for the Southern Hemisphere.
It's going to be a challenging one.
It will be one of the hardest and longest.
Now we're looking at the prospect of 35 days at sea.
I checked the weather and it looks from Cape of Good Hope to Antarctica 50 knots, it's just brutal. So we'll have to pay close attention.
We have the doldrums, we have the St. Helena High, and we have the big currents around the southern tip of Africa, and all of them, each part has its own strategy and tactical decisions to make.
In just over a month at sea, the boats endure all imaginable conditions. Calm and storms, blistering heat and icy blizzards. In this odyssey worthy of the offshore racing annals, the slightest maneuver can have a huge impact.
We made one little mistake and we could not get back into the lead of the fleet.
In the tumult of the South Atlantic, small instances of bad luck also generate resounding upheavals.
And unfortunately, we had a key problem before the Cape Town, and we decided to stop to repair that. And that is really, really difficult decision because we are keeping the first place, and we were thinking a lot until last moment. But it was good decision.
Milai's stop changed the race because we were actually in a really great race with them, and we were just trying to keep up with them. And it was good for us because we haven't sailed the Class 40 for a while, so we could kind of see how far off the pace we were and where we needed to improve. And so when they headed up to Cape Town, it was a shame because he sort of lost that bit of the racing.
We were no longer in this competitive mode to push. We suddenly changed the plan to be, okay, let's not break and maintain our lead.
The hitherto undisputed leader's forced pit stop finally led Armas to its first win in the GLOBE40.
We managed this leg by breaking it into like 4 pieces. Exit the Cape Verdes, stage 1. Stage 2, Atlantic to the south, deal with the South Atlantic high. Stage 3 is in the south, Cape Good Hope, Agulhas, and then stage 4, the Indian Ocean. And we have a plan for each stage.
Mauritius, a new exotic stopover for the GLOBE40 fleet. This little piece of paradise in the middle of the ocean is a welcoming haven for the sailors involved in the round-the-world race. After a daunting and challenging stage, 35 days at sea for the winners, 39 for those who came last.
Mentally and emotionally, God, I am worn out. It's a long haul, a lot happened, and we had a lot of setbacks. But there was one week where literally every day it seemed like a sail tour. And we weren't even pushing it. So that was hard.
Getting around the Cape of Good Hope, it's the Cape of Storms, and it's earned its reputation as a very, very difficult place to get around, and we earned every bit of it, and it took us forever. Literally, it feels like it took us forever.
The weather got deteriorated over and over and got really bad, and now we got alerts from the GLOBE40 management to reroute north.
With barely enough time to rest, it's already time for the next leg. A new big crossing awaits the skippers. Some, like the Dutch crew of Sec Hai, are setting sail for New Zealand with great ambitions.
Every leg till now we are second in the prologue, second in the first leg, second in the third leg. It means that we are doing well. We have to level up a little bit to get number one, but we'll push the next leg to try to be number one.
The course is, once again, challenging. The transitions are incessant and the weather capricious. So much so that the fleet is delayed and again spends over a month at sea. On a Class 40, distractions are essential, whether they're voluntary or incidental.
We try to have as much fun as possible. Most important was trying to make fun of each other on the boat. So Frans is scared a lot and easily, so whenever he's doing something, I just flap him in the face and say fly fish, and then he's always shocked. And that's like he's on top of the mast in the 2 seconds.
Come inside, and Ivan was in the corner of the bunk, and he said, "Wow!" A lot of time we did it to each other.
There was a rainbow, full rainbow, and the light reflecting from the rainbow came right to the boat where I was sitting. So I could see like a line of the rainbow coming right at me, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna be fine. Like a rainbow shining on me, things can't go wrong.
In the middle of the night, we were nowhere. I looked out and I see this light. And I say to Joe, like, hey, there's nobody on AIS. The radar reads a very little signal. It's a small boat. This is weird. I don't know if they're pirates. And I started having all my alerts. I'm like, we're gonna shoot them with rockets, and we gotta do something. Where's the knife? And no boats, no small boats around here. Those guys are up to no good. And they're kind of moving with us. And I say, maybe we should turn the lights off. This can be a bad situation. After a long time, we realized it was Whiskey Jack. It was funny. We were ready to shoot Whiskey Jack with rockets.
At the front of the race, there is an epic duel between the ambitious Sec Hai and My Lai out for revenge. The final battle is sensational. Both crews do not lose sight of each other from Cape Leeuwin to the finish line. In the Bay of Auckland, a 34-minute gap determined the winner. 34 minutes after 34 days at sea. Phenomenal.
The first impression, very, very proud to hear us first. And yeah, it's crazy to see that you are battling 3,000 miles, crossing each other more times within a mile. And then you are very happy to be the winner at the end.
Unbelievable. We had to push a lot all the time. I think they had to do the same because we were fighting until the end. And 3.5 miles, so close that it's a second place, but it missed something. too close, too much close.
Je ne sais pas si ça a déjà existé dans des courses au large, mais c'est quelque chose d'exceptionnel. C'était absolument palpitant à suivre. Et ne pas savoir réellement 2 heures avant, à 3000 près, qui va gagner, c'est totalement inédit.
Yeah, I would say obviously it's very competitive. It's nice to see a different winner for each leg. So I feel like that gives you, a chance to be in the game, even if you have a little bit of a slower boat, or there's a tricky cards to play.
The eternal city of sailing, the mecca of ocean racing, welcomes the GLOBE40.
Auckland, c'est dans l'hémisphère sud, la ville, le pays de référence pour la voile de haut niveau. Donc ça, la chose est établie, que ce soit la course au large ou évidemment l'America's Cup. Donc pour un événement en création, faire une étape, être accueilli à Auckland, c'était vraiment un point fort.
New Zealand is becoming a sailing capital of the world. Yeah, it's great to arrive here. I mean, Auckland is a wonderful place.
A perfect place for a complete checkup of the boats. After 3 stages, they've already completed almost half of the world tour.
We're now 20,000 miles of sailing, hard sailing, so it was definitely time to haul out for a keel inspection. And I'm really thrilled to see that the keel joint is perfectly tight, no evidence of any movement or cracking, so it's a big relief.
20 000 milles, c'est 5 ou 6 routes du Rhum en équivalent distance, donc les bateaux, il est légitime maintenant de faire un petit contrôle général. Ils sortent pas parce qu'il y a un problème, ils sortent pour vérifier que tout va bien.
Here you have all the professionals in the world, the highest level, same as in France, where we are sure we can have enough assistance and also well-equipped assistance from people we know who can help us with doing this.
The ships have been checked, the skipper's reassured. With a serene spirit, they can head to another little piece of paradise at sea, the ultimate dream stopover, French Polynesia.
Since I was a kid, I've learned with geography classes about French Polynesia, and I kept that always as a dream. It's a place I want to go.
It is a little slice of heaven here in the middle of the South Pacific.
See the palm trees and the warm winds, and it's all pretty cool. It feels like you're in a little bit of a dream.
Pour les marins, c'est quand même un territoire qui est très évocateur, qui est porteur de rêves. Et moi, je voulais, pour cette première édition, offrir ça aux coureurs, d'être capable de vivre ça dans ce territoire qui, en plus, nous a superbement bien accueillis.
I'm surprised by the amount of culture there is on this island and how proud the people are about their history.
C'est aussi pour ça que le GLOBE40, c'est une chouette aventure. C'est parce qu'on a l'opportunité de venir dans des pays qui sont fantastiques.
On the race side, the 4th stage offers another epic finale, an unbelievable plot twist, and only a 7-minute difference between the first 2 boats. A wonderful scenario for the great return of ocean racing to French Polynesia.
On avait un bateau à masse qui avait pris la tête et d'assez loin avec un avantage conséquent. Et puis en fait, les cartes ont été redistribuées en passant à Bora, ce qui fait que les 2 suivants ont pu couper un petit peu plus court. Enfin, il y a eu un finish assez haletant.
You know, we thought we would have a very good, easy day sailing, but the weather is very changeable. They could basically completely pass us in 4 hours. It's a bit sad, but not the end of the world.
Our boat level is going up because we sailed a lot the last 6 months. So I need some optimize or some modifies my sailing on the sea because everybody's skill is going up.
Cette homogénéité de la flotte et le niveau de la compétition, c'est la très bonne surprise de la première édition de la GLOBE40.
The experience the GLOBE40 participants accumulated over the past 4 legs will be much needed in the 5th stage that will take them down to the southern tip of America.
It will be complicated for sure, and we need to be careful for ourselves and for our competitors, and watch our boat and make sure that everybody is safe.
On the way to Ushuaia lies the mythical and dreaded Cape Horn.
It's Cape Horn, you know, so it's the big one.
And it is mythical. It is a very special place to go. It's a bucket list place.
that is the Everest of the sea.
C'est un cap mythique et dire qu'on est capornier, c'est quand même une grande chance.
At the southern tip of Argentina, in the glacial waters of Tierra del Fuego, Milai wins its third stage, the second in a row. What a way to restart the race for the final victory. Unfortunately, their hopes are quickly extinguished. Going up the Atlantic, along the coasts of South America, where traffic is heavy and marine pollution is high, the Japanese Class 40 crashes into a floating object.
On a tapé quelque chose dans l'eau, on ne sait pas ce que c'était, on n'a pas vu. Dans tous les cas, il y a eu beaucoup de dégâts sur le bateau, surtout au niveau structurel. Donc là, c'est impossible pour nous de continuer la course. Donc là, on se dirige vers un port au sud de Buenos Aires, en Argentine.
Première décision, accélération des balises et mise des bateaux sous surveillance. Et puis ensuite, on était en communication avec eux pour voir la suite des incidents. Et en même temps, on a envoyé quasi en temps réel aux autres bateaux la position du choc. Si des fois ils passaient au même endroit un petit peu plus tard, on a prévenu les autres bateaux pour qu'ils soient vigilants.
Another victim of these dangerous waters, Sekayai. Fortunately, the consequences are not as catastrophic for the Dutch crew.
There was a bang, not that loud, and I rushed outside and didn't see anything. 4 hours later, at the end of my watch, there was suddenly like 500 liters of water inside the boat. So we had to jibe, so the water was above the water. We could pump up the water and then close the water with rubber seals we had on a band. And after doing that, we could sail again on a full perspective, but the rudder was seriously damaged and we could feel there was a big difference in boat speed.
The trouble encountered by the first two in the overall ranking benefits Amas. The American crew won at Recife in the heat of the Brazilian night.
It was a very technical leg, very challenging. Lots of different conditions, and they did a great job committing to go east and north when it looked like it might be the right thing to go to the west, and it really paid off for them. So Craig and James did a wonderful job, and we're the beneficiaries, so we're very, very thankful for it.
Recife, at the eastern tip of the American continent, where the adventurers of the GLOBE40 will be immersed in the local culture. A short break, no more than a few days of rest in the Venice of Brazil, before leaving for a short, week-long regatta to Granada, an exciting and eagerly awaited seventh leg.
This is going to be the most wonderful leg. We're gonna have the wind coming from behind. We're gonna have a lot of sun. It's gonna be warm. The current is gonna be with us. I think it's gonna be beautiful.
It should be great. This is sort of the champagne leg of the entire race. It might be our last leg on our boat that we've had for 9 years. And we put many, many, many miles on. So it's a little bit of a bittersweet leg for us, but we're really excited to get going.
Yeah, we're very thrilled about that because the next leg will be hopefully an easy one.
Il faut quand même être prudent. Il y a une zone avec beaucoup de pêcheurs, des côtes qui nous sont moins familières. Donc oui, elle est courte avec une météo relativement simple, mais on va quand même garder un œil vigilant sur ce qui va se passer. On est à 80% du parcours, 3 points d'écart là aujourd'hui, donc personne ne sait dire qui va gagner la Globe 40 dans un mois et demi.
And average of almost 11 knots, an express stage in the Caribbean, a true week-long sprint, and an unexpected winner, Whiskey Jack. The award for resilience and perseverance goes to Melody Schaefer, who had to deal with numerous setbacks since the beginning of the World Tour.
It's so wonderful to win a race, so wonderful. And I've always been at the back. Yeah, it's quite special to be on the other side right now. This is the first leg I have started a race when I am not with a new teammate. So that was huge, right? Tom and I, we'd come together, we knew how to sail together. He loves sailing the boat, and so that was a huge advantage. And we had to do nothing. The boat just takes off on its own. It's like she spreads her wings and she is ready to fly.
A few hours later, the Dutch crew of Sekhaiai overtook the Americans of Amas, a decisive second place for the final result in the overall ranking.
We went from A3 to A6 in 22 knots, but we still decided to go A6, a bigger sail. Boat was really overpowered, but it gave us another knot of boat speed. And we had to work that way to get here before Amas, because that was our goal. We now have everything in our own hands.
Yeah.
We just need to make it happen.
I'm a little disappointed. I thought that we would do better in this leg. This was a leg that was really optimized for our particular boat with the fast reaching. We just really couldn't find a lane that was good for us. We struggled a bit early on, but it's really been a wonderful leg. It's been a wonderful course.
Granada, a short technical stop before the very last leg, a final gallop of 3,600 miles on a direct route from the West Indies to Brittany. There's still suspense for the overall victory. The current leader, Sekhaiai, shows relentless determination.
After 8 months, you can only say one thing. Crew is a bit tired, not so fresh as the beginning. I think the boat is in an excellent state to do a transatlantic, so we can push it to the max.
Yeah, we want to finish this on the only nicest way to win it.
However, there's still hope for the Americans of Amas. They're ranked second overall, so they will absolutely have to win the race to Lorient and hope that Griffon Solo or Whiskey Jack crosses the finish line in the French port before Sekhaiai.
Melanie and Tom did an awesome job in that race. It was really, it was fun to watch.
Very impressive.
In this leg, and so I think there's a real shot that there's going to be some competition at the front of the fleet, so we'll see how it all shakes out.
Of course, we can't just reveal our tactics right now. But no, it's going to be fun. And you know, the worst part, I think, is going to be towards the end, where it's going to be the last kick in the ass we get from this GLOBE40.
The first boat to complete the round the world, Amas wins in Lorient. The third victory for the American crew on the GLOBE40. A bravura performance, but not enough to win the overall ranking. Because Sekhaiai managed to arrive in Lorient in second position.
Suddenly it's finished. In a moment it's over. And I think it'll take a few days to look back and reflect on it. For me, it's just a great moment.
Yeah, so at the start we had lots of light winds, it's sunny, nice weather, but at the finish here we had, suddenly we looked at the forecast and there was 10-metre waves and 50 knots of wind forecast for Biscay, so we had to slow the boat down. And then the Dutch were eating into our lead the whole time, so we had to try and juggle it, and then eventually we decided, okay, it's good enough, we can go now.
The names of Frans Budel and Isbrandt Ent will forever be remembered as champion winners of the first edition of the event. They were the most consistent, pugnacious and regular. They won only one leg, but came second 6 times, which offers the Dutch crew a historic, prestigious success.
Yeah, great. We are the winners. We won it, and we did it.
Yeah, we are over the moon. We started 2019 with a lot of preparation. And I told him a year before We have the potential as sailors to win this race, but the boat is very old, so that is our Achilles heel. But we decided to go for liability, for a lot of training, and for steady on, making 2 or 3rd all the time, and that will bring us the race. And in the end, we won in Auckland, and since that moment, we never left first place. So we are over the moon. We are over the moon.
C'est une belle victoire, c'est une victoire construite, c'est-à-dire c'est une victoire réfléchie, partant de la feuille blanche qui était on a un bateau moins rapide que les autres, donc il faut qu'on soit un plus intelligent. Une certaine vision de la course au large aussi, où le confort devient peut-être un élément de la performance. On n'est pas obligé de se faire mal pour aller vite. Une démarche intelligente, une stratégie intelligente, c'est une victoire qui ne doit rien au hasard. La boucle est bouclée et c'est pour nous un mélange de satisfaction et puis aussi de sentiment d'avoir vécu quelque chose d'assez exceptionnel. Et si on regarde les grands objectifs qui étaient d'être capable de faire un tour du monde avec 8 étapes, on l'a fait. D'avoir des bateaux qui soient capables de traverser 35 000 milles sans avarie majeure, on l'a fait. Je pense que l'enjeu, c'est de garder le même esprit dans la seconde édition. Le même esprit avec un événement qui a vocation à croître, évidemment.
10 months at sea, smiling, the wind at their backs, with faces drawn in the hollow of a wave. 10 months of sailing on the seas and oceans of the world, of putting into magnificent ports, of discovering paradisal lands. 10 months later, from Lorient to Lorient, the logbook is filled with black ink. As an ending note, this quote: "The journey is the destination." The GLOBE40 was a dream. They made it a reality. Their round-the-world tour is completed, but the story of the event is only just beginning.